Top United States university campuses, including those of Yale, New York University, NYU, and Columbia University, are on edge amid arrests of pro-Palestinian demonstrators on Monday and mounting tension between pro-Palestinian and pro-Israel protesters over the war in Gaza. On Sunday, a prominent rabbi linked to New York's Columbia University and its affiliated Barnard College, Eli Bushler, urged Jewish students at the institution to stay home due to extreme anti-Semitism on the campus. Columbia's President Neimat Minouche-Shafik announced in an official statement that all classes will be held virtually on Monday. Over the past days, there have been too many examples of intimidating and harassing behavior on our campus. Anti-Semitic language, like any other language that is used to hurt and frighten people, is unacceptable and appropriate action will be taken, Shafik said in a statement. On Monday, those tensions extended to Midtown Manhattan, where the NYU campus is based, and to the Yale campus in New Haven, Connecticut. What happened at NYU and Yale on Monday? From Yale, 60 people, including at least 47 student protesters, were arrested for trespassing after they blocked traffic around campus, according to a statement by Yale University President Peter Salovey on Monday. Several protesters were also arrested from NYU. On Monday night, NYU released a statement saying, "The police urged those on the plaza to leave peacefully, but ultimately made a number of arrests." NYU's student-run newspaper Washington Square News published an update at 9:30 p.m. local time, Co-1 GMT, saying, "All visible protesters have either dispersed or been arrested," adding that the arrested protesters were kept in zip ties and the tents in the encampment were completely removed. The NYPD moved in on an encampment in NYU's Gould Plaza, preventing additional people from joining the protest. Several NYU students and faculty members were arrested by hundreds of policemen on charges of trespassing. Helga Tawil Sauri, an associate professor of Middle East and Islamic Studies at NYU, told Al Jazeera as she stood outside a police station, awaiting the release of several students and faculty members. "I don't know how we trespass on our own campus." Tawil Sauri said the protest was peaceful. "I've been at NYU for almost 20 years, and I've seen a number of protests happening. I don't think I have ever seen a crackdown of this nature." Earlier, on April 18th, New York police arrested more than 100 pro-Palestinian protesters from Columbia on charges of trespassing. Several students were also suspended from Columbia and Barnard, which sits across Broadway from Columbia's main campus in Morningside Heights, including Isra Hirsi, the daughter of Ilhan Omar, a Democrat in the United States House of Representatives. What are the students protesting about? A range of student groups are behind the protests. At Columbia, the so-called Gaza Solidarity Encampment has been organized by the student-led coalition, Columbia University Apartheid Divest, CUEAD, Students for Justice in Palestine, and Jewish Voice for Peace. The protesters are calling for Columbia to divest from corporations that profit from Israel's war on Gaza. The QAD website lists additional demands, calling for more financial transparency about Columbia's investments and the severing of academic ties and collaborations with Israeli universities and programs. The groups are also calling for a complete ceasefire in Gaza. In NYU, the encampment was organized by the NYU Palestine Solidarity Coalition, a newly formed on-campus group comprising students and faculty from Students for Justice in Palestine, Faculty for Justice in Palestine, Law Students for Justice in Palestine, Shut It Down, NYU, Jews Against Zionism, and more than 20 other on-campus groups. The NYU Alumni for Palestine website details a list of demands in an open letter to NYU's leadership, which was signed by 2,410 alumni. These include the condemnation of the killing of Palestinian civilians, the protection of students and faculty who are speaking up for Palestine against harassment, and divestment from companies and institutions active in the Israeli occupation and genocide in Palestine. At least 34,000 people have died in Gaza as a result of Israel's unrelenting bombardment of the beleaguered enclave and its ground assault. Restrictions on the entry of humanitarian aid into Gaza have also pushed the enclave to the brink of starvation. What are their critics accusing them of? And what happened on Sunday? Some protesters have been accused of anti-Semitism and harassment of Jewish students at the university. On Sunday, those allegations gathered further steam after footage on social media appeared to show pro-Palestine activists outside the Columbia campus telling pro-Israel students to go back to Poland. One activist said that October 7th will happen not one more time, not 5 more times, not 10 more times, not 100 more times, not 1,000 more times, but 10,000 times, referring to the Hamas attacks on southern Israel that killed 139 people. Another activist can be heard saying that October 7th will be every day for you. A chapter of an international Orthodox Jewish movement, Chabad at Columbia University, released a statement saying that protesters also told Jewish students, "You have no culture. All you do is colonize," and to go back to Europe. Yet another video shows a student protester at a gathering in Columbia saying, "Let it be known that it was the Al-Aqsa flood that put the global intifada back on the table again." Hamas had called its October 7th attacks on Israel Operation Al-Aqsa Flood. In a statement on Sunday, Quwad distanced itself from what it said were media distractions focusing on inflammatory individuals who do not represent us. At universities across the nation, our movement is united in valuing every human life, the statement said. Quwad has insisted that its members have been misidentified by a politically motivated mob. In the statement, the group said, "We have been doxxed in the press, arrested by the NYPD New York Police Department, and locked out of our homes by the university. We have knowingly put ourselves in danger because we can no longer be complicit in Columbia, funneling our tuition dollars and grant funding into companies that profit from death." Meanwhile, student demonstrators at other U.S. universities, including the University of California, Berkeley, the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, the University of Michigan, Emerson College and Tufts have also established protest encampments. What have President Biden and others said? In a statement on Sunday to commemorate Passover, U.S. President Joe Biden condemned what he described as blatant anti-Semitism at Columbia University, calling it reprehensible and dangerous, and saying, "It has absolutely no place on college campuses or anywhere in our country." This was after the White House released a separate statement calling out physical intimidation targeting Jewish students and the Jewish community. Condemnation of the Sunday protest also came from New York City, Mayor Eric Adams, and New York State Governor Kathy Hochul. UN Special Rapporteur for Palestine Francesca Albanese wrote an ex-post on Monday highlighting the arrests made by Columbia University and the alleged targeting of students who showed solidarity with Palestine in European universities. She wrote, "What lessons are Western universities and governments imparting to their young citizens and students when they attack the very values and rights that are said to be foundational to Western societies?"